Imagine this, a U-Haul truck barrels toward federal officers at a Coast Guard base in California, forcing them to open fire in self-defense. Or a conservative leader gunned down in broad daylight, his death sparking nationwide outrage. We're not in a movie. This is America in 2025, and the finger-pointing is flying faster than the bullets. Today, we're diving into why Republicans are blasting Democrats for tearing the country apart, with rhetoric that's gone from heated debate to straight-up dangerous. Is it fair? Is it one-sided? Or are we all guilty in this toxic cycle? Stick around, this could change how you see the headlines. Let's set the stage. It's been a brutal year for political violence. Back in September, conservative firebrand Charlie Kirk, founder of Turning Point USA, was assassinated in what many called a politically motivated hit. Just weeks later, an ICE agent was killed in Dallas amid escalating protests over immigration raids, protests that turned deadly. And as of yesterday, that wild U-Haul incident in Alameda, California, a driver tried to weaponize his truck against Coast Guard security, injuring two in the process. Fast forward to this week, and a Texas Democrat's CNN appearance has everyone losing it. We're talking about State Representative Jolanda Jones, who didn't mince words. "We gotta go across your neck, wipe out every Republican." She called it a metaphor for redistricting fights, but critics? They're not buying it. This is incitement, they say. And they're pointing to a pattern that's been building for years. Jones isn't alone. Take the squad. Representatives Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, and others. After that ICE shooting, they've been slamming agents as Gestapo and calling for defunding the whole operation. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz? He echoed that, labeling ICE the modern-day Gestapo. California Governor Gavin Newsom piled on, accusing the feds of state-sponsored terror. And don't get me started on Virginia AG candidate Jay Jones. Leaked texts show him fantasizing about murdering GOP lawmakers, complete with graphic details. Even House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries has been called out for tweets that paint Republicans as terrorists during the government shutdown standoff. Democrats say it's passionate advocacy for immigrants and against authoritarian policies. But Republicans? They're screaming hypocrisy and blood on their hands. VP J.D. Vance blasted it as psychological projection. Dems accusing the right of fascism while stoking the flames themselves. President Trump himself tweeted, "Radical Democrats have fueled deadly attacks for years. When does it end?" It's not just talk. Surveys show nearly half of left-leaning Americans think violence against figures like Trump or Elon Musk could be justified in extreme cases. Scary stat, right? Makes you wonder, are words just words, or are they loading the guns? Now, hold up, fairness check. This isn't a one-way street. Remember Trump's "put him in the bullseye" remark about the media? Or J.D. Vance calling Democrats childless cat ladies in ways that fired up the base. Left-leaning outlets have hammered this home. Joe Scarborough called out the outright lie that Dems alone fuel violence, pointing to Trump's history of inflammatory speeches. The New York Times ran pieces on how right-wing rhetoric has spiked threats too, from January 6th echoes to online militias. And yeah, both sides have their montages. Fox News dropped one showing Dems using fight language over a decade, from Elizabeth Warren to Chuck Schumer. But here's the kicker. In 2025, the volumes cranked up on the left amid Trump's second term. Protests against ICE raids have led to arson on GOP offices and firebombings of pregnancy centers. X is flooded with posts calling it a civil war brewing, with hashtags like #Nokings turning into calls for chaos. What do you think, viewers? Is this mutual escalation, or is one side pouring gas while the other just holds the match? Drop your take in the comments. Let's discuss without the daggers. Dig deeper, and it's clear. Rhetoric isn't abstract. It's fuel. After Kirk's death, Representative Anna Paulina Luna accused Dems of causing the violence, sparking a House floor shouting match where a Dem fired back, "Pass gun laws." Jonathan Turley, that constitutional scholar, warned months ago, "We're at war with this rage machine, and it's tearing families, communities, even democracy apart." Axios nailed it. 4 trends. Social media echo chambers, demonization of opponents, calls for civil war, and a spike in threats. Immigrant rights groups even condemned the anti-IC hate after Dallas, saying it endangers everyone. But why now? Trump's policies, border crackdowns, DOJ cuts, have Dems feeling cornered. They're losing ground with working-class voters, so the volume amps up. Jones herself said it's about fighting back on redistricting. Yet, as one ex-user put it, Democrats know nothing but lies, attacks, and violent rhetoric. Harsh, but it's echoing across the right. So where do we go from here? Nancy Pelosi, of all people, condemned the violent rhetoric, but stopped short of pulling support from scandal-plagued candidates like Jones. On the right, Steve Scalise, shot in 2017, keeps preaching no more violent words from anyone. Experts say it's simple: tone it down. Focus on policy over personal destruction. Remember, we're one nation, divided by design, but united in potential. If this hit home, share it with that friend who's glued to one-sided feeds. Let's flood the comments with ideas. How do we heal this? Therapy for politicians? Social media timeouts? Your thoughts? Thanks for watching. If you want more deep dives into the stories shaping 2025, smash subscribe and turn on notifications. Like if you agree it's time for real talk over rage. And comment below, who's really tearing us apart? Peace out. Stay safe, stay civil, and remember, words matter. See you next time.